Florida State Representative Kurt Kelly joining us here in Strategy Room. I'm Griff Jenkins, filling in as Strategy Room has gone on the road to the 37th Annual Conservative Political Action Conference in Washington, D.C. We're bringing you all the speeches, and we're bringing you all the important guests that are here, the gathering of conservatives, none larger in the country every year. And Kurt, you're here because you want to get elected, and we were just watching on Strategy Room a little bit earlier. And by the way, you can watch all of the speeches at CPAC at foxnews.com. They're streaming it. And at Strategy Room, you can vote in our poll, too. Important poll. They do a straw poll here. Mitt Romney's won the last three. Okay. Who's going to be the next president, or Republican presidential candidate, I should say. Our poll is up at Strategy Room. Go there and vote on it. Is it Sarah Palin? Is it Pawlenty? Is it Romney? Is it somebody you've never heard of? Is it Huckabee? Is it Kurt Kelly? It ain't Griff Jenkins.
It's probably not going to be Kurt
that.
Kelly, yes.
Let me ask you, though. Let me put you in a difficult spot because I know you're running for Congress, and so you don't want to get yourself in a difficult spot. But between Rubio and Chris, now in Florida, what's happening? Speaker of the House, Marco Rubio, we've talked about the excitement that he's generated. No one really thought Governor Charlie Crist was going to have a challenge in this Senate race, but they do. And Marco Rubio certainly is offering a credible challenge. What's your take on the race there in Florida? I mean, because a lot of people probably watching across the country are like, yeah, what's happening down there? You're an insider. Give us something without getting yourself in trouble, an insight into what's the dynamics of this race.
Well, I'll give you my take, and I will tell you that Florida is very, very interested in returning government back to the people and making sure that we have the conservative values that are going to represent us here in Washington. They also do not want a party or any other group to come in and say, this is it, and you really don't get a choice. They don't want just the Washington blessing from someone. They want it to come from the people, and I think Marco has tied into that. He has been, he holds to very staunch conservative values, and I think that's what you're seeing. The public is saying that. And I will tell you, I was on national radio not too long ago, and they put me on the spot again and asked me that. And I'll tell you exactly what I told them, because I don't like to dodge questions. I'll tell them right where I stand. I am a member of the Florida House of Representatives. I do have legislation that will be coming for the governor, and I want his signature on it when we pass our good legislation. But at the end of the day, Marco Rubio is my friend, and he was my speaker, and we have a very close relationship. And I've been supportive of Marco all along. He is a fine man. I will tell you this: I want the person to go to Washington, whether it's the Senate or someone's going to be in Congress, that holds to our values, that has the dignity and the ability to go out there and actually affect change, not just to get into bitter partisanship bickering for bickering's sake, but to actually stand on those values. And so that's what I'm running on. If you don't mind, I'm going to tell you one of the key things that we're going to have to do as a conservative area. Now, Central Florida is a conservative area. It's my home. But Central Florida wants a conservative. It's been represented by no less than Bill McCullum and others for many, many years. So it's been a conservative district. But Alan Grayson tried to run to the center. He can never get back to the center with his leftist positions and his leftist philosophies that he's purported openly. The difference is that he's going up there now pandering to the left. He raised a tremendous amount of money over the internet in the last quarter, and I think that's what he's going to try to do, is come again, and anyone that ends up running against him, he's going to eviscerate them and go after them with his sort of potty mouth mentality. We believe, that's why we're up here, we believe that the conservatives all over the nation are watching this race. This is a key, fundamental race being watched all over the nation. Alan Grayson has made it that way. But it is a toss-up race right now, leaning R, is what we've been told. Before I got in, it was a toss-up race leaning D, but now it's leaning R. And so we're going to go out there and work hard. I would encourage folks from all over the country that are watching this to log on to gokurtkelly.com. And if you want to help me out and help a good conservative take this seat back, we'll take your support no matter where it comes from. Remember, this is a seat that's actually, I believe, a bellwether seat. I actually had one of the people inside in Washington tell me if we can't win this one, we're probably going to have a hard time with a lot of them. But we are going to win this one, and it's going to take a lot of folks. We've got a great grassroots campaign. We've got a great message out there, and we're very excited about, first of all, being just great being up here at CPAC. But it's also great to be here with the number of conservatives and to be able to get them to be involved in this campaign here in Central Florida.
Florida Representative Kurt Kelly joining me here in the CPAC Lounge at CPAC, the 37th Annual Conservative Political Action Conference. I'm Griff Jenkins, your humble host, allowing Strategy Room to go on the road here in Washington. You know, Kurt, you mentioned grassroots, your campaign running against incumbent Democrat Congressman Alan Grayson. You're saying grassroots. You're hearing a lot from the grassroots. One of the real stories here at CPAC this year is that since last year, the Tea Party movement started. That is, I've covered it extensively. I covered it a few days ago when a group of activists went and met with the Republican National Committee Chairman, Michael Steele. I stood in the cold for 4 hours. They had a 4-hour meeting, I guess, exchanging their ideas. The press cameras weren't allowed in there, but we interviewed a lot of people. Said it was constructive. I assume there were some give and take back and forth. But from the grassroots level, what's happened from last year's CPAC to this year's CPAC is this Tea Party movement, this sentiment grew in conservative circles, and it's having a tremendous impact. And I think some realization of that impact is going to be felt at this CPAC. You know, what is the? Let's tap into your specific grassroots. You hearing from Tea Party people? Are you hearing from grassroots? What are they saying?
On April 15th of last year, we have our legislative session. We were up in Tallahassee. I was part of the first Tea Party movement that took place at the Capitol. It was a big movement out there. We were pleased to be a part of that. The Tea Party movement is simply a conservative movement. And this movement is taking place all over the nation. It's bringing sort of a specific point of entry to a lot of folks who have been very frustrated about just getting involved. But there are many folks that may even not affiliate with the Tea Party that are conservatives. They're very active. I'm very thankful to the Tea Party. We have many of those folks that are working in my campaign as well. And in this race that I have, even in the primary, there will be several folks that get in the primary. I honor them all as long as they hold to their conservative roots, and as long as they continue to fight for conservative values, I'll honor them, because really at the end of the day, I'm not going to take my eye off the ball. The eye on the ball is to get rid of Alan Grayson, who is the extremist liberal, and we believe that we give Central Florida the very best chance of being able to do that, and we're enjoying going out there. And it is correct. 2 years ago, it was hard sometimes to go out there and get some conservatives to get out there and go on the ground. It is not today. We have an army out there that is developing and already starting to walk the precincts. And I think that's what we got. We got to take it back to the grassroots level. Our ideas are correct. And I'm very excited about taking those ideas and purporting that message and stand against this extraordinary expansions of government, this socializing of our medicine, this just unchecked spending, passing on a debt to a generation. We're supposed to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, not to pass on this debt and to pass it on. We're supposed to settle the debt at the end of every generation. This generation's got an obligation to do that, and I believe there's a message out there, and people are wanting that.
Florida State Representative Kurt Kelly running against incumbent Democrat Congressman Alan Grayson, the outspoken Democrat there. We are here at CPAC in the CPAC Lounge at the 37th Annual CPAC Conference. We are dipping in and out of speeches. You can see all the speeches at foxnews.com.